How's it going, everyone? I'm Gamaroy, and welcome back to the Interactive Horror Stories. Now, we are reading the first part of the Crystal Skull. So there's this Crystal Skull, and then there's Crystal Skull 2. So we're going to read the first Crystal Bathroom stall? The first Crystal Skull. I can already tell you, it's going to be a good day for reading. I'm struggling to say Crystal Skull. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna get in there. I learned actually the music that I chose to add in, because it's silent. It's completely silent. I add in a little bit of like an some eerie songs, and in the doll I added one. It's called like the Doll's Dance or something like that, very similar to that. I learned my mom played that when she was a kid on the piano for a piano recital. I thought that was really cool. I figured I'd share it with you guys. But we're gonna do Crystal Skull. It's very fun. Okay. You are a king who is loved by his people. You have a serious problem though. Your only child, Juliana, has an incurable disease and she is dying. Aww. You hear about a crystal skull which can cure illnesses and let people have visions. It is brought to your palace from the continent of America. Oh, America. But your man warns you that the skull might be cursed. Ooh. Will the crystal skull bring health to the princess or doom? One way to find out, isn't it? In the doll, I only showed the one ending, but like the after burial, I will show all of the endings that I can do. It'll be 2 to possibly 3, but yeah, we're gonna do it. Being a king is hard. Being a good king is even harder. You know this well as the sole ruler of a European kingdom in the age when America is discovered. It has been 25 years since you ascended the throne. Your subjects are content with your rule, your country is in peace, and people are wealthy. But there is something wrong with your life. Your daughter, Juliana, is ill. She's only 18 years old, and she's got an illness that nobody can cure yet. Princess is dying, and she is your only child, and heir to your throne. Every doctor you could find tried to cure her. You have tried almost everything. Almost. You have been informed that a miraculous artifact unearthed in the continent of America. It is the human skull made of crystal. It amazes the scholars because no method is known to carve such an excellent shape of a skull out of crystal. The skull doesn't belong to the world that you know, but to an ancient civilization that has been lost. But what amazes the scholars is it's not just the impossible creation. The skull is told to bring miracles to whom touch it with their bare hands. I'm starting to get over a sickness. Sorry, don't worry about it. I'll be okay. Some people tell that they saw visions from the future. Some tell that they saw how human race was originated, and some tell that the skull can cure their illness. Those couldn't be cured with the medication available into your era. Naturally, you ordered your best men to bring the miraculous skull to the palace. It is midnight now. You are in Juliana's chambers. She's lying in her bed, holding your hand as you sit by her bed. No candles are lit inside. Full moon lightens the princess's chamber, shining on her long blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm trying to figure out where they would be. Maybe like Sweden, maybe. I'm trying to think like where they would be, like the small features. I don't know. We'll never learn. We might figure it out. I probably won't, but you probably do. So, she is too weak. Her skin is pale. She has under eye bags. Good job, Roy. Showing her illness. You already suffered the loss of your wife 10 years ago. Now you can't stand seeing your only daughter slowly die. Juliana asks you with a soft voice, Father, am I going to die? Eventually, yeah, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. I won't allow that. She smiles. I know, Father. You are a mighty king. I know you will do your best to by your subjects and me. Shit. Why? The door of the chamber is knocked on. The servants generally don't disturb the royal family members at night, so it must be something important. Come in! Okay. A brunette boy, one of your servants, gets inside the chamber with politeness. He looks at you and says, Your Majesty, the artifact has been brought. You have been waiting for this moment for a long time. Kiss Juliana's forehead. I will come back. Because, good dad. After you kiss Juliana's father and say, I will come back, she brings your hand to her pale lips and kisses it. Aw. Then you leave Juliana alone in her chambers. At the exit of Juliana's chambers, you see Sir William, one of the knights who were appointed with the task of bringing the ancient skull. He is a strong man with black hair and a round beard. Ooh, I wish I could grow a beard. Like a full beard. It's patchy. He wears gloves and is holding the bag. Your Majesty, he says. He kneels before you. Signal him to stand up. Let's go to my study chamber. Sir William follows you as you walk to your study chamber. The chamber is well lit with a silver candelabras. Candelabras? I don't even know what that is. All the furniture are classy. Good grammar. My grammar is good, I say. It is a king's study room, after all. There is only one chair. It is for you. You sit on it. Sir William stands by you and slowly pulls the artifact from his bag. You push the books on the study desk to open the space for the artifact. Here it is, he says, and gently puts the crystal skull on the study desk. The skull is truly a masterpiece. If it is crafted by humans. All the details of a human skull are imprinted with the care of raw crystal. Light coming from the candles are refracted inside the crystal, gaining various colors of a rainbow. It is magnificent, but you sense something sinister, something that doesn't belong to our world. Touch it. Did you knights touch the skull? Yes, we did touch the skull with our bare hands, and we all had visions. We took glances from our future. Some of us saw how we will die. Some of us saw our grandchildren. But, he continues, but maybe we shouldn't have touched the skull. The day we were all about to leave, native men came to us. He looked like a chief of his tribe. He knew little of our language, but he shouted some words we could understand. Cursed, no touch. Oh. So we haven't touched the skull with our bare hands again. I know that our princess needs to find a cure. I also know that we received reliable information about the magical powers of this skull when it comes to incurable diseases. But Your Majesty, I've got a very bad feeling about this skull. I believe that the wise decision is to throw the skull in the sea. I think for this one, we're just going to touch it. And we're going to see what we can do. Hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully. I can't let Juliana die. She will touch the skull. Or, yeah, no, we're going to touch the skull. The knight sighs, as you wish, Your Majesty. But if you are going to bring the skull to her, I wish you wear gloves. I'll wear the gloves this time. You look for gloves around the study chamber. Sir William pulls his own gloves off. I think you wish Juliana to touch the skull as soon as possible. Let's not wait for servants to find your gloves. He says, then gives you them. What a good knight. Also, he's enabling me to make poor decisions. I mean, I'm a king, so it's not like really has a choice. You wear the gloves and hold the crystal skull with your covered hands. Let me bring the skull to Juliana. Thank you, Sir Williams, for your service, and let him go. You thank him. Oh, there we go. I summed up what I just messed up saying. You carry the skull to Juliana's chamber. You enter her chamber and see she hasn't slept yet. She rises up and sits on her bed. She looks at the skull in awe. It looks marvelous. And scary, she says. You approach Juliana and let her touch the skull. As Juliana touches the skull, she closes her eyes and doesn't react to anything in external world. You understand that she is having a vision. After 10 seconds, she opens her eyes and gasps. I saw things. I don't know how to describe them. They were pitch black creatures, so ugly. Their eyes. They were red flames, and they all stared at me. Ugh. She starts to cry. Please keep this thing away from me. Please. I want to be alone. So you decide to keep the skull in your study and let your daughter sleep. Did she just see hell? Did she go, she's 18. What did she do? What did she do? I don't know what she could have done. After this tiring day, you go to your chamber. There are no guards at the door. You just trust everybody in the palace. You are a loved king. Good for you, man. You're doing good. Doing good. The furniture are luxurious in the chamber, too. You take a glance at your reflection in the mirror. Examine yourself. You take pride in how you look. You are a middle-aged man, but you still look as handsome as you were young. Your looks are an important factor that makes you a charismatic leader, besides being fair and wise. Cool, you're a good guy. You wear your nightgown, you get in your bed. It is a bed for 2 people, but you haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed away. You have a secret that you will keep from everyone. Sometimes you hug the pillow in your bed as if it was someone you loved. You do this since your childhood. Nobody needs to know. It doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. Aww. Aww. Father, you wake up to Juliana's voice. She gently holds your shoulder. You look at her. She has a happy smile on her face. Her skin is not pale, but saturated with life. She no longer has bags under her eyes. I feel wonderful. She takes a few steps back and starts dancing. You laugh with happiness and stand up and hug her. Juliana walks into the corridors of the palace, dancing and laughing. You and the people of the palace are very happy to see her this way. She used to be like a ghost before. You plan a feast and invite all the lords of the kingdom. A few days later, every lord arrives to the capital city to celebrate the health of the princess. At the feast, Juliana is the center of everybody's attention. She talks with everyone joyfully, makes jokes, makes the people laugh. When the feast is over and it's midnight, everybody goes to the chambers reserved for them. You accompany Juliana to her chamber. You put a kiss on her forehead, before letting her sleep. Then you go to your own chamber and fall asleep in peace. Shh. Okay. You wake up. It doesn't give me a sound to like. It doesn't give me a chance to be like, oh, I wonder what's going on here. It's just like, gotcha. You wake up to the sound of knocking on your chamber's door. It's still night. You wonder who dared wake you up at this hour. Open. It's the same brunette boy who had informed you about the arrival of the skull. Your Majesty, I am deeply sorry for disturbing you at this hour, but there is something wrong. There are laughing sounds coming from the princess's chamber. It's her voice, but it doesn't sound normal. Let me check it. You walk to Juliana's chamber. Like the servant said, hysterical laughter is coming from inside. You decide to enter. You see Juliana at the balcony of the chamber, facing back you. Back you. This grammar, man. She laughs under the pale moon. You approach her and put your hand on her shoulder. She turns back to you. Her face is normal, smiling. Just when you were about to ask if everything is okay, she responded, I know it looks funny, Father, but I am fine. Please leave me alone, she says. She stops laughing, gets in her bed with a smile on her face. You decide to leave her alone. You go back to your chamber. You can't sleep. You feel something is wrong. So wrong. Ugh. The door of your chamber opens. There is only one person who is allowed to enter without knocking the king's door. So you understand that it's Juliana. Am I going to call her Julia? It's Juliana. I'm sorry. Who entered. Like you guessed, you see your daughter's silhouette. She closes the door and approaches you with a smile on her face. Juliana? She leans down to you, gently pulls the other pillow that you don't use. Juliana is dead, she says, pushing the pillow on your face. Oh! You struggle, but whoever, or whatever, is trying to kill you is too strong. The king is dead. Long live the king, she shouts. Why is your own daughter committing patricide, regicide, and referring to herself as king rather than queen? That doesn't make sense at all. That is the end of your reign and life. There are 3 endings. Ooh. Well then, I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. We are right before the part where we throw the skull into the water, and then I think the next one we are going to touch the skull. So we'll see. So I know the princess needs to find a cure. All right. I believe that the wise decision is to throw this skull to the sea. I trust your insight. Let's do it. I am glad that you agree with me, Your Majesty. So he packs the crystal skull back into the bag. You two get outside the palace and get on your horses and ride to the docks. When you reach the docks, Sir William finds a stone and fills the bag with it. Then he throws the bag, your only hope of curing Juliana, at the bottom of a dark sea. I know how hard it must be, but maybe it's for the best of us. I hope that you hope that he is right. The end. Well, that was a short one. That was a short little ending. So, we will be back again with the final ending, the third one, which will hopefully be good. Hopefully it'll be like, hey, she's okay, and so are you. She's not a demon anymore. I'll be right back. Alright. I am back again. A little before that, because I saw touch the skull. What's that say? It says touch the skull. I'll be right back. My camera battery's dying. Alright guys, again, I'm back again. I don't know what happened. My battery and my camera died because I didn't change it because I'm stupid. But that's okay. It's alright. We're back again. As I was saying, I am back from... I went back one. Can't really go back. I went through it all. Back from where you throw the skull away to touch the skull. We didn't do that last time, so we're going to touch the skull. As you're about to touch the skull, Sir William holds your hand and prevents you from touching the skull. Your Majesty, I think I need to tell you something about the skull before you touch it. It's about... Okay, this is just the Native American saying like, curse, not touch! No, don't do it! Okay. We just need to find that again. So instead of throwing it out, we're going to say that and touch it with bare hands. You ignore the night, touch the skull with your bare hands, and instantly find yourself in a vision. In your vision, you are in the middle of a ritual. There are about 100 naked humans around you, forming a circle whose center is you. They are all prostrating themselves, worshiping you. It's nighttime. The plain area is enlightened with torches and stars. You see a step pyramid nearby made of huge stone blocks. You realize that you are the crystal skull. You can't see yourself, but you are completely aware of what you are. The naked people are worshiping you, the crystal skull. Then the vision changes. Now it's not night, morning. It is raining like hell. There is a huge flood. Unclothed, red-skinned humans scream and get drowned because of the disastrous torrent, and you, as the skull, drift away. You open your eyes and turn back to who you really are, the good king. Sir William looked at you. Tell the vision. You tell him what you've seen in your vision. Yes, the skull is mysterious. I can't understand it. I hope it doesn't bring harm to you or Princess. Your Majesty, he says. Let me bring the skull to Juliana. What? Okay, it's the same. Okay, so I guess I'll be right back again to, instead of having to read all this again, I'll be right back to where... Oh, we'll see. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back again. Let me try that again. Alright, I am back again. We're about to fall asleep. And while I was trying to go through this, I had to go through it again. Something was different in this. It changed. It changed because it wasn't the same. So I quickly skipped through it instead of reading it on my own. This is all fresh for me, like it's fresh for you, I swear. So I went back, and this is different. So I examined myself again. You take pride in how you look. You were a middle-aged man, but you still look as handsome as you were when you were young. Your looks are an important factor that makes you a charismatic leader besides being fair and wise. Now we're going to sleep. You wear your nightgown and get into bed. It is a bed for 2 people, but you haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed away. You have a secret that you keep... Alright, I read this part, so it doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. You wake up in the morning, something is wrong. You can't move your arms. No, not only arms. You can't move any part of your body. You are paralyzed. Then suddenly your body starts to move involuntarily. It stands up without your consent. Your feet bring you to the mirror. You see your face in the mirror. You are terrified because there is a grin on your face. You are no longer in control of your body. You are merely a bystander of what it does. Oh. So what happened to your daughter, the princess, now is happening to you. If you touch the skull, that is crazy, but she touched it too. What? Okay. It brings you to the throne room with confident steps. Soldiers salute you, to be exact, as you enter. It sits on the throne and shouts with your voice, "Bring me my daughter." You watch the guards accompany Juliana as she enters your presence. It shouts, "I don't want her to suffer anymore. Kill her." No. Juliana is shocked. "What? Father, please." She is not only surprised, she's not the only surprised one in the room. Everybody looks at each other with shock. It shouts, "You heard your king. Execute her." You try to shout, but your screams are buried inside the head of the king. Juliana gets on her knees and cries in despair. But it's in vain. 2 black-masked decapitators come into your presence. One holds the crying blonde girl, the other one holds the sword. Oh. Oh no. That noise wasn't scary, it was sad. You can do nothing but watch as your precious daughter gets decapitated. Her head falls down and rolls to the throne. The floor gets filled with her blood. Days pass, it continues to control your body. You mourn for your daughter inside the body that once belonged to you. You watch it rule your country with an iron fist. It orders all the churches to be burnt and priests to be hanged. Oh. Of course, your people uprise against the new king. It suppresses with revolt and violence. Anyone who stood against the king gets tortured. Eyes are poked, skin are flayed. Soon it orders people to worship it as a deity. The God King declares war against other countries. It doesn't take long for the other countries form an alliance against the God King. In a fateful battle in your capital, the God King loses his horse. The evil king gets killed while desperately searching for a horse. And this is how your soul finally breaks free to heaven to see your family once again. What? That was terrible. That was the... I mean, like... Oh. What was the good ending in that one? Jeez. It's either your daughter is fine because this jackass is in her head, and long live the king when she's a queen. Now I'm dying in confusion, but I get to see my wife, and then I guess what this happens to her, so he sees her eventually. You throw the skull away, she's dead, you're alone again. It doesn't say she's dead, but nothing's healing her. She has an incurable disease and she's going to die at the time. Or your daughter gets decapitated while crying because she thinks that you're an awful person, which the thing controlling you is awful. She gets decapitated. All you can do is just sit there watching for the ride, like, oh, my life is horrible. I just want to die. Someone release me from this hell. Then everyone's, oh. The best part about the last ending was you go to heaven and see your family. Jeez. I guess the selfish one would be like, my daughter's okay. Then you die. I'd have to say that the best one, so no one gets hurt, is the skull getting thrown in the ocean. Sorry, your daughter's dead. Now you don't have a wife or a daughter. Jeez. That was a good one, though, because that, like... that was a good one. The grammar of these could be better. But I'm really liking this because it's a story and you control the ending. Granted, it's not like a bunch of gameplay where you're like, let's kill everyone, yeah, we're gonna have fun. But it's cool. I really like it. I'm really liking this, and we have 3 more. So if you guys like this, I'll do something like this for another thing too. You know, we'll figure it out. But yeah, so I'm gonna end it here. Next, well, tomorrow for you guys. Next, we are going to be doing Evil Beneath the Ground. Now, we'll see what happens there. So, thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you in the next video. See ya!